Hello, everybody. This is my. I still haven't thought of a way to start these. This is my. Oh my god, I've left this. I've left the. How many seconds into the video till I just looked at myself instead of looking at the camera? How long has this video been going? Oh, it's only 19 seconds. I looked at myself then and see the finger was still open. That's because I've just had to open it quickly to grab a hat. This is the first hat. My hats are in that wardrobe at the bottom, but this is the first hat I grabbed. Do you know what, actually? I don't think I've ever wore this hat before. Oh my god, I've never wore... How mad's that? I don't know why that's at the front, because I dragged everything... That's where all my man bags are and that. I don't really wear... Well, I never wear man bags ever in England, but I always wear them on holiday. And or when I go away, and that's where my man bags are. And this must have just been pushed... I've never wore this hat before, you know. It's from Kiev. We lost, so I never wore it. This is the first time I ever wore this hat, and it's just the first one I grabbed then, and I've put it on. How mad is that? Anyway, this is my weekly video about MMA and boxing. I was supposed to I've been painting all day. It's just been a bit of a shitter, and I was supposed to come home and just do this. Obviously normal. Do this normal and put it out and go to bed and have an early night. But instead, I've had a joint, so this is going to be stoned because I need to put this out. I can't not do the weekly thing. The weekly combat thing. It missed out last week, but got away with it because it was because I did the Lynn's fucking, all the Lynn stuff, the live chat during the week, the fucking watch along. I just couldn't be asked doing videos last week. I didn't even couldn't be asked doing a live chat on Sunday, but I got to blag it by doing Lasker Wade. It just meant like I could put two out. I feel like that's going to be, maybe that'll be the case sometimes. I can't be asked to do these all the time. Last week I couldn't be asked to do them, but I did the two live ones anyway. But this weekly thing, the combat thing has to stay. I have to stick at this combat thing. I have to stick at the thing. I never stick at anything for longer than fucking 6 months. 6 months is a stretch. 2 months probably. Never stick at anything longer than 2 months. I will stick at this for at least a year. So I'm making sure I get my content out. So this is why you're getting a combat weekly stoned. Maybe it'll be better. Who knows? It might be better stoned. So, but I'm not just going to take it off the finger. I've done notes, but they're not notes. I've done bullet points of the subjects because I feel like if I have the subjects in front of me, I can talk about them. But I forget about the subjects. So these are the subjects I've wrote down: Joyce, Zhang, Anthony Yarde, Conor Benn, Canelo, Charlo, UFC, all of it, I'm guessing, and then fight announcements. But I have wrote the fights that I'm interested in talking about because I would forget them. But everything else is just then. I can talk about them. I just need to be prompted for them. So I guess that's the rundown. Maybe I should start doing at the start of this show. Do a rundown what I'm going to be talking about, so people could decide if they want to listen. But that's what I'm talking about this week. What else have I said in this video? How long have I been going? 3 minutes. I can't remember what else has been said in this video. I'm just going to keep rolling with it. Right, so this is the Combat Weekly now. Anyway, I think the first thing was that was open, wasn't it? The cupboard was open because I got a hat out at the bottom of it. I forgot to shut it. Whatever, it doesn't matter anyway. Let's start the Combat Weekly. So we'll start on Joyce versus Zhang. So this is a bit of a different one actually. This one I've just thought about it in my head. Is the boxing fight? Oh yeah, Canelo. Obviously, I'm just going to say there's no UFC or boxing this weekend, so we'll just talk about stuff that happened last week. But obviously, Canelo's this weekend. What am I talking about, mate? I can't wait for the Canelo fight. You know, is anyone else really excited for the Canelo fight? I can't wait. I think I'm definitely not a hardcore boxing fan at all anymore, and I'd probably say I still like boxing and I will watch boxing if there's boxing on a Saturday night, even if it's not great boxing. If I'm just chilling, I'll spend my Saturday night chilling watching boxing. But there's so many things I'll do now not over boxing. Do you know what I mean? Just because I think I've just fell off with it. I think I went through a stage where I loved it and I watched everything, all of it, no matter what show. I'd go out of my way to watch fucking Russian shows and that, but I'm just not really that into that anymore. And I feel like I jumped onto MMA and did the same with MMA, and I was watching that all the time. And I feel like I still do. Do you know what? With MMA, I'm definitely more into MMA than I'm boxing now. In terms of the day-to-day stuff, but I always say in it, a big boxing fight, you can't get near a big boxing fight, can you? Everyone stops for a big boxing fight, and I love it when big boxing comes around. And I still do watch well more fights than your like normal, average, casual boxing fan, but I'm not as into it as I used to be. But I'm still up to the news and that, because it's easy to stay up to date with stuff in it at the minute because of Twitter and that, so I'm still up to date with boxing, but don't watch it all the time. But yeah, what was the whole point of that then? What was the whole point of this big spiel about me liking boxing more than MMA? I can't remember what was the whole point of that. I can't remember. Anyway, let's go back to. Let's just start with the first topic: Joyce versus. Oh no, that was what I was saying. I didn't know there was any boxing this weekend. Oh, this could be a nightmare. I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing it. I'm recording it and I'm sending it. But there's good boxing this weekend. There's no UFC though. First time in 17 weeks. How about that? I heard that on the Ariel show. First time in 17 weeks there's not been a UFC on the weekend. And I was thinking, is that right? And then when you think back, yeah, it is, isn't it? Think all the way back to UFC London as well. There's been cards all the way since then and everything. It's been on every single weekend. First weekend off in 17 weeks, no UFC card. And I'm kind of glad. But although, even like last week, I know it's kind of there, and I will talk about it only because Bryce Mitchell's a lunatic, but I don't watch them Apex cards, I'll admit that. Maybe that's me. I don't think I would have ever watched, even during lockdown, I wasn't watching them Apex cards, honestly, unless it was a big fight. I remember watching Cormier versus, what's he called? I watched Adesanya versus Costa as well. I remember them big fights. I watched DC versus Stipe. If it was a big fight in lockdown, I'd watch it, but I can't watch sports without no fans in me. It does me. I don't know why. I can't get into it. Maybe that's why I don't like golf and things like that. Maybe that's why I don't like golf or even tennis. I can get into big game of tennis, but in big game of tennis, the crowd are going at it. Maybe that's why I don't like golf, because there's no fucking atmosphere. But I can't watch fighting in an empty arena. Can't do it. Couldn't watch boxing when they came back. It's all shit to me. You have to have fans. So I don't watch the Apex cards ever. Really, there's never. I don't even think, even if there's a big Apex card, what's big for the Apex nowadays? Like even Derek Lewis, I love Derek Lewis, and I didn't watch his last Apex fight. Definitely didn't watch his last Apex fight. I don't watch the Apex cards. They're fucking shit. So this last week I didn't really watch UFC, but I'm kind of glad. It's good that there's nothing to clash though. But do you know what? Actually, the only time the Apex cards are quite good is because boxing. So I get a perfect example is like the Canelo fight this weekend. Because the Canelo card fight this weekend's actually got quite a decent card in it. I'm going to talk about Canelo Charlo later, but I may as well just talk about this little bit of Canelo Charlo right now. Canelo Charlo. I've just googled Canelo. I've just googled Charlo. Canelo, not Char. Oh my god, Charlo Canelo. There we go. Got there in the end. Canelo. What's the card? What's the card of this? Because it's good, isn't it? I have actually seen it, but I'm not quite sure of it all to go. Do you know what? I'll Google that and I can't remember what else I was even saying. Surely I should stop this video 7 minutes in though. Nah, can't. There's no way I can be bothered doing another 7 minutes of anything. I don't do takes on these videos because I'm never this bad where I can't fucking remember what I've said. This is getting sent anyway, and now Canelo's box rec won't load up. Anyway, there's no UFC this weekend. First time in 17 weeks. That's what I was saying. And while I'm saying that, I'm going to try and get Canelo's boxing thingy up so I can talk about the card. But there's good boxing. So I've got a list of things to talk about. So what order shall I talk about? I'm going to go through last week's stuff first. So Joyce, Anthony Yarde, Conor Benn. Then I'm going to go talk about last week's UFC. I've got them in the wrong order. And then I'm going to go talk about Charlo and Canelo. And then, fight announcements. I don't know what order I'm going to talk about. First off, we'll start with Joyce versus Zhang. Has anyone asked at this point? Right. Have I even asked about talking about Joyce and Zhang? Joyce, Zhang, Conor Benn. So I just skip the Joyce fight. Nah, do you know what? I will talk about the Joyce fight. I'll talk about the Joyce fight. So, what? He got stopped early, didn't it? I thought Joyce was going to win, to be honest. I thought all week he was going to win. I thought he was going to win because I watched the last Joyce fight. I can't believe we're 8.5 minutes into this and I've not spoken about anything. Right, back onto Joyce. So I started what was I talking about Joyce then? I'm doing this. This is going out as it is. This is where notes would come in anyway. Joyce, what was I talking about Joyce? Oh, Joyce fought, didn't he? I thought Joyce was going to win, right? That was it, because in the last fight, I thought he was... I don't know, maybe I was being... Now that I've looked at the second fight, maybe in my head I was being... Because I liked Joyce. I thought he was all right, I liked him. I wanted him to do well. I wanted him to win. Wanted to see him in big fights. So I liked Joyce, so I kind of get behind him. So the first... But even if you rewatch the first fight, I feel like... And bear in mind, this is not us being, wise beyond it. Zhang has serious cardio issues, yeah. He does. Look at his past fights. Where he's had a serious cardio issues. Who did he drop now 3 times in the first round and then went on to cling on for a draw? Who was that? Joyce? Who was that? Zhang versus somebody. He dropped him 3 times in the first round. See, this is about research. So I say I should do research for these videos. But, so my mate, Well, he's not even a mate, to be honest. Honestly, not even a mate, I'd say. We'd probably be mates now because we've been chatting since this. But he said about, just a random person on Twitter who messaged me saying about the videos, saying they're good. A lot of people have been messaging me about these videos, saying the videos are good, they're enjoying them and that. They like, it's nice to listen to me chat shit. I don't know why, but listen, I'm going to keep doing them because people are saying they're good. But anyway, when we was talking about should I take notes, because he said it, and he was saying, nah, because when I do these things where I can't think of something, he said it's funny when you can think of them, do you know what I mean? So, and I can't remember, anyway, with this one, I can't remember who Zhang fought, but he dropped someone 3 times in the first round, and then hung on for a draw, anyway, whoever that was, and they weren't good. He has got stamina issues, and he also, Hrgovic, when at the Hrgovic fight, he was, everyone thinks he won, but he got knackered towards the end, and that's why it was even, it wasn't close, and he did probably win, but the reason why it was kind of close was because he got knackered down the stretch, and Hrgovic won a few rounds at the end, even though he lost all the early rounds, so he has got stamina issues, yeah, and I feel like he was slowing down before Joyce's eye fucked him, but the problem was, Joyce's eye was that fucked, where the optics looked bad because he couldn't get out of the way. Was it the left eye? Which eye was fucked in the first Joyce fight? See, I can't remember properly, but if it was his right eye and it was, I think his left hand, yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, so his right eye was fucked and he couldn't miss with the left hand. And even though he was tiring Zhang, he still couldn't miss with the left hand because I think his eye was closed. So the optics looked bad. But I think Joyce, chin-wise, in the first fight, I know he'd been hurt. He'd been stung a lot early on, yeah, Annie. That was the thing. And he had been hurt. But I think as the fight was going on, the shots weren't so much as like hurting him that much. It was just that he couldn't get out of the way of them. And then now I think about it, did he really want to? I don't know, but it is what it is. The first fight, he lost the first fight, but I think he got stopped with the eye, and I think Zhang was slowing down, and had he had both his eyes, maybe I honestly still think that in the first fight, had his eye not gone, and it's not like it's luck, Zhang punched him in the eye, mate, and his eye fucking fucked, and he got pulled out of the fight because of his eye. It's not a lucky thing, I'm not trying to say it's lucky, but not like Kell Brook, where Kell Brook would have lost to Golovkin regardless, because if he hadn't broke his eye, they just kept hitting him another way and broke his fucking ribs or something, broke his face in another way and stopped him within about another 2 rounds, yeah. The eye was just happened. But this, I honestly believe if Zhang hadn't hurt his eye, Joyce would have weathered that storm and stopped him late. A bit like the Parker fight, do you know what I mean? That's what I honestly believe about that fight. But it looks like it's stupid now because of the rematch, but that's what I think about that first fight anyway. So I thought going into this rematch, that'll be what had happened, but I didn't think Joyce was going to go into the rematch with like, he seems to doubt himself, doesn't he? He has like a bit of doubt, and he looked like it anyway then. And I've always put, like the first fight he was dead light and he was trying to box, which I understood. Did that make sense to anyone as well? So the first fight he was light, wasn't he? And he tried to box, and that's when he was getting picked off and that. And in the second fight he put all this weight on, so I assumed he was going to be like on him, like, you know, like pressurising Zhang, like he did again, like the Parker fight, where he's like, he's letting you can land on him and stuff, but you're boxing, but he's tiring you to box. He's not like staying on the outside. That's what I assumed he put the weight back on to do, but he never. But he kind of was stuck in between two styles when he was kind of trying to box him, but then I didn't get it. Welsh being bigger, he tried to half do what he did in the first fight, which didn't work for him. But he was bigger. I don't know if he thought he could still box him and be bigger, but be able to take. Maybe he thought he couldn't take a shot on that as much because he was lighter. But I don't know what they were thinking. That was a really bad game plan, wasn't it, for it? But anyway, who am I to tell them it's a bad game plan? I couldn't think of a better game plan, but it didn't seem right anyway. I don't know why he was trying to box Welsh being heavy. It didn't make sense. But he also I feel like he also didn't fancy himself as well, didn't fancy the chin, and nothing gets cracked. Like, I know we didn't get cracked in the first one, but now that chin's gone, he's done. Nothing cracks like a heavyweight chin, does it? The lighter weights, you can get it, and a chin can get cracked, and like, because it's a lighter weight, and you can get away with it, but when a heavyweight chin cracks, it cracks, usually. So, I think I'm going to sneeze. So I think he's got, I think it's going to have, I think that'll be him done. I knew I was going to sneeze. So I think that'll be done. Yeah. Just looking at my phone then to see what's next. I've been doing this video 14 minutes. I'm on the first topic. That's not good at all, is it? Right, let me just wrap the Joyce fit up. So yeah, I thought he was going to win. He didn't win. I seen. But I ended up replying to something. Paul Smith put something about him having like a good career and earning decent money, and I replied to that. And you know what? Someone reminded me, and I feel like this is how I did feel, but I forgot about it. So I do think Joyce was never that good, really. Do you remember his debuts when he was in the weird little David Hay thing? David Hay had that little thing going on, because that's when MVP was who's the MMA fight was on the undercard as well, and he was awful. Do you remember that? So oh man, I feel ill. So Do you remember the David A stuff? And it had what's it called on the undercards, MVP, and that was like a weird little thing. He fought Ian Lewison, didn't he? Ian John Lewison on his debut. And I didn't think he looked that good then. Even then, I'm sure he didn't stop him early, did it? It was like a late stoppage. He's always been like this grinding, like good chin, throws more punches than you, better engine than you, and it's worked so far. And we've championed him, and we've sort of championed him on this. We like call him the juggernaut and stuff. Like we've bought into the fact that he's like walks forward, walks into things, like good chin, good stamina. That's like his game plan. But obviously, we should have realised it had a short shelf life. And I think if he'd have fought anyone who was a bit more of a puncher, to be fair, if Joseph Parker was a bit of a puncher, I think he would have got him out of there. Because Joseph Parker's not a puncher. Because people have landed on him before, and he just walks through it, doesn't he? But anyway, he's never like, his style's never adapted. He's never got any better. I don't even know if I can get to the point of this. Am I even getting to this? This is where notes would have come in. Anyway, we're going to get off the Joe Joyce subject. I think he got beat. Don't think he's going to come back from it. He said he's going to keep fighting. I'd want to watch him if he wants to come back and fight. Fucking, like if he came back and fought, what's he called, Adelaide, or if he came back and fought Fabio Wardley or Fraser Clark. I'd watch him fight all them. So if he's interested, if he's just not asked about, maybe he's not even that asked about being a world champion. Maybe he just wants to box. If he wants to come back and just box domestic fights, I'll watch him all day. So if that's what, and domestic heavyweight fights, you'll make money. There'll still be money to make. He can fight Chisora. I'd watch him fight Chisora probably if it was just like a random event like on the undercard or something. I'd watch him. If he wants to keep boxing, there's plenty of fights for him. But I think in terms of like challenging for world titles, he's done. But like I was saying then about Paul Smith saying like, yeah, he thinks he's had a good career. He will have made good money in for the talent he had because he's never been that good, has he? That's what I was saying. He's never been that good, and his style's never changed and nothing like that. So I think he's made good money. The only thing is, what I will say is he could have made more money, but he didn't look like that, did it? If he'd have just not fought, so before the Zhang fight, right? I feel like he was in a bit of a position where was he going to go from there? Because obviously Fury had the belts. He weren't going to get the Joshua. Joshua was never going to fight. I know this, call me deluded, but I still think, not now his chin's gone, but then again, both the chins are gone. Maybe still now. I think Joe Joyce was all wrong for Joshua, and it sounds stupid now. And even now, I still think he'd probably still would beat Joshua because his chin was good and he had good stamina, and Joshua's gun shy and he gets tired, and he never got tired or doesn't get tired. I don't know. I just always thought Joe Joyce would be wrong for Anthony Joshua, and it looks like maybe it's just one of my stupid opinions now. They'll probably never fight. Even if they do, I still think Joe Joyce would win. I think his style is all wrong for Joshua, but maybe they're not going to fight anyway. But I think Hearn knew that as well, and it would have been easy to navigate Joe Joyce and Anthony Joshua away from each other. He's with Frank Warren. It would have been easy to do it, and it would have happened. Probably more likely to fight now, but I don't think they'll fight now. But I'm just saying it would have been easy to avoid him, and I think Joe Joyce still now wins that fight. But the Fury fight looked a miles away, didn't it? And like, obviously, maybe didn't know what was going on with Usyk either, because the Fury fight, you've got to think we all thought he was going to fight Usyk, and then he would have sat on a few defences after that. Like, it looked miles away. He probably thought Usyk was going to be a rematch on that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it looked ages away, so he obviously didn't want to sit out for all that time. He likes being active, so that's why he took the Zhang fight. You could have made him fight anyone, because now, with Fury fighting fucking Ngannou, he's not going to... I love Fury, yeah, it's sad because I love him, but he can... You feel like he can... But they all do it. Joshua did it. Joshua fought Usyk not thinking Usyk was going to beat him. This is 18 minutes and we're on the first topic. Joshua fought Usyk not thinking Usyk was going to beat him. Joshua fought Usyk because they all thought it was a nice, easy, mandatory. He didn't look good against Chisora. He looked a bit like undersized and not sturdy at heavyweight against Chisora. I can't remember who his other fight was. And they've definitely seen that, because Chisora even hurt him a bit and bashed him about a bit. And they've seen that and thought Joshua could just bully him really because of his size, and obviously Joshua's tried to, but I don't know if Joshua, it's weird, isn't it? Usyk battered him twice, but I still feel like if Joshua wasn't gun shy after the Ruiz fight and just stuck it on him, I feel like Usyk can be beaten. I think Fury fought that originally, and then I don't know if he's like doubting himself now, but I still think if he just gets in there and he's just bigger than Usyk and he's just a massive big man who's bigger than him, bullies him, he'll win, because Usyk's tiny for heavyweight. He's not big for heavyweight at all. So that's what, obviously, but that looked a million miles. That looked like that was going to happen and they was going to have a rematch and everything. I thought that sort of would happen. I thought Fury wouldn't be scared of Usyk, or wouldn't be sort of avoiding him like he is now. I thought he'd fight him, and then who knows what happened. But it looked like it was a million miles away. So he stuck on Zhang anyway. Joyce lost. But the sad thing is, if he'd have known this would have been happening now, where the doubt comes in Fury's mind, and now Fury's looking for opponents that would... Joyce undefeated if he hadn't fought Zhang. If he'd just fought like someone and then someone, you know, I know that sounds stupid and blasé to say, but if he just fought someone or sat on his ranking, an undefeated Joyce would have sold out a stadium against Fury, because we'd have all accepted, it's hard to make the Joshua fight, it's hard he's already fought Wilder 3 times, we'd have all just took his side that AJ doesn't want it, because I would have took his side. I'd have been like, listen, he's fought Wilder 3 times, why can't you take the fight? And then so the fight is impossible, so you have to fight someone. And we'd have all bought the Joe Joyce fight, wouldn't we? I'd have bought it. If Joe Joyce is 16, 17 and 0 going into a Tyson Fury fight, we wouldn't have wanted to see it. Probably all would have thought Fury would have bought it, but we'd have all got up for it. So I think they've lost that out, but it didn't look like, when they took that Zhang fight, it didn't look like that the Fury fight was anywhere near. I know Fury had called him out at the Parker fight, but Fury says a lot of things, doesn't he? So they took the Zhang fight, but I feel like he still would have made good money for the first one, maybe good money for the second one. He made a lot of money for the Parker one. That was on pay-per-view at a, like, pretty decently sold out Manchester Arena. So he's made good money for his talent, and if he's going to keep fighting, there's paydays for him. But I think they lost out on a big Fury payday, not knowing how erratic Fury is. Right, next one, Anthony Yarde. Is someone ringing me? No, message. Anthony Yarde. So, what was the whole point of Anthony Yarde? Why have I got Anthony Yarde written down? Anthony Yarde just won a thingy fight, didn't he? Just won a standard fight. Didn't beat anything. What's so special about him? That's what his thing is, anyway, Anthony Yarde. He always does that. That's what he... Do you not think that's the mad thing about Anthony Yarde's career? I think Anthony Yarde's good and I like him and want him to do well, but do you not think like he beats world-class fighters? No, he beats terrible fighters all the time. He never seems to have the middle ground, does he, Anthony Yarde? Like, he just always seems to beat bad people and then fights someone really good, loses, and then comes back down, fights loads of bad people, then gets a big shot, loses. Like, I don't think he ever beats okay fighters. He's never... What's his best win? Who's he beat? Lyndon Arthur, probably. And he lost to Lyndon Arthur first as well, didn't he? Do you know... He's never beat anyone. He doesn't really fight European level or anything, does he? He just beats loads of shit people, and then for some reason gets like a big world title shot, and then beats loads of shit people, so some reason gets a world title shot. Yeah, I don't know why I've got Andy Yarde written down. I'm not really asked about him. And then Conor Benn. Conor Benn, so I don't know what's more to say about Conor Benn. Conor Benn, is there more blatant drug cheating in boxing? Like, why? Oh my God, Bobby's going sick here, my dog. This is not what I need. Bobby, shut up! Stop! Bobby! What do I do here? Dog's going mad. Oh my God. Someone at the door. One sec. First time ever this channel's had technical difficulties. At least I was at the start of a new subject. What was it? I had a few... Well, I don't know. I probably had a few things left. How long was that video? I don't even know how long that video was, and I don't know how to edit 2 videos together. I only know how to record a video and post it. I keep saying I'm going to learn all these new things. I'm going to learn thumbnails. Still can't do thumbnails. I've got my mate who makes them for me. Still haven't learned how to... Can't edit videos. Don't know how to edit videos. Don't know how to do anything. I could just record a video like this and send it. Did I need that then happening? Oh my God. So obviously I locked the door, and Bobby goes mad unless you answer the door, so they couldn't get in, so I had to go and answer the door. It's my own fault, completely my own fault. And the reason why I locked the door is because I emptied the recycle bin, because it's bin day today. I emptied the recycle bin and put the stuff in the bin and locked the door on my way back in. So we was up to Conor Benn. What was he talking about, Conor Benn? Oh, the Conor Benn fight. Anybody? So was a Conor Benn fight? Why have I not even checked this? Was a Conor Benn fight at 154? Because I just assumed it was at 147. But then why would it have been at 147? I don't know even why I thought that. Why I even thought about that? Was it at 154? Why did they not just have it at 160? Surely it would have made more sense to just be fully at 160 and just like bed him into the weight at 160. Or was it at 160? Yeah, it was at 154. I thought that. I only found out yesterday that it was at 154, and then I thought, why would you not? If you're going to do it at 154, why not 160? Is that in case the Eubank fight doesn't happen and then he's not gone too high up, and in case he wants to make a fight at 147? I don't get why the fight wouldn't just be at 160 if the next fight you make is a Eubank fight, but it wasn't anyway. But did anybody actually watch it? To be honest, I can't really talk about it because I weren't staying up for it, and that is not a fight that I would rewatch after the fact. There's no way I'm going to watch that. But what was it, 12-round decision? I seen people saying that. Or I'm on his thing now because I was checking the weight. Or I don't know how to pronounce his name. Roscoe had like a solid chin and all this. Can Conor Benn punch? Conor Benn couldn't punch at 147, could he? Do you remember that was one of the things? The start of his career reminded me like a lot of the start of Matthew Hatton career, sort of. Maybe even like maybe not that like feather fisted, but like he weren't a puncher at all, was he? He used to go the distance with quite bad people, or he would get someone out who was like a knockover job in like a few rounds. He never had power. And then that's probably the reason why he got manhandled by that. What's he called so bad in the fight where he could have lost? What was he called now, that guy? Did he end up rematching him, Conor Benn? What was the guy called now? The French guy who nearly beat him. Jamoy. He never ended up rematching, did he? Oh no, he did. That is the rematch. Is it? Who was the French guy who? Cedric Pena. Did he end up rematching him in the end? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he rematched him and beat him. Yeah, fair enough. He did rematch that Pena. I forgot that he rematched him and beat him. Remember that fight when he got knocked down twice or something? That was a mad fight, and that's when I thought he's shit. But obviously he got on the juice, didn't he? And not saying fair play. I don't. It's weird because my opinion on drugs in boxing in sport is a bit different. Like I'm not that bothered if people take them because I think everyone takes them. But I obviously would rather boxers and MMA fighters not take them. But I'm not that arsed that he has took it. But I don't like Conor Benn, so it's a good little stick to beat him with anyway. Even though I don't really care that he cheated. But yeah, he's never really been a puncher, has he, anyway? So I don't know if the other guy, they'll spin it as the other guy had a good chin, but I don't think Conor Benn's a puncher. He's never been a puncher. And they're not lucky that he just got a win because they can say it as a swell thing, but it's better to just get him a win. And then that's why they're cashing him out with Eubank, because especially now he's off the juice. Eddie never wanted him to fight. He was never going to be able to fight for world titles. He's never been good. Conor Benn's never been good. We all know Conor Benn's not good. If he fought for a world title against anybody, any world title fighter at 147, he would have got beat. So that's why Eddie went for the Eubank cash out, because it's just cash him out, get him loads of money, get you loads of money. He's not going to fight for titles and stuff. He's not that sort of fighter. But so that's why they want the Eubank fight. So the Eubank fight's what they need to cash out on. So you just need to win and make the Eubank fight, because he's not good. That's why I think the Eubank fight to me is intriguing, because I think Eubank's not good as well. But he's a lot bigger in it. I thought that was my alarm going off. There is an alarm going off because I snoozed an alarm. The alarm for the bins goes off at 1:45, and I know for a fact I snoozed it at 1:45 and didn't stop it. So it's going to go off in 4 minutes anyway. Who is blowing my phone up? So I need the phone there though, because it's got my next thing. So yeah, I want to see the fight. I'll be honest. When it first got made, I feel like Eddie has struck gold with this fight, because when it got first made, I was not interested in it. It sold out. What did they sell it again? Was it the O2? Like it was. Who was anybody asked? And now it will sell at Stadium, and I am interested in it. I might even go. I might honestly go to it when it gets announced. Like I am genuinely interested in Conor Benn, just because I think Ben will get flattened, and I do like a bit of a storyline and that. So I'm interested in it now. So yeah, I need to make that fight. UFC last weekend, was any UFC? I'm going to talk about Charlo thing. I've put it in order of the boxing things, but I'm going to talk about Charlo Canelo last, because obviously it's next week's big thing. So we're on the UFC now. Should we do the fight announcements after the UFC and then go to, how should I do this now? Yeah, we'll go. No, I'll tell you what, we'll just finish off with boxing and then we'll go to the UFC and fight announcements. So Charlo Canelo this weekend. I can't wait. Well excited for it. Do you know, it's kind of snuck up on me, and I don't think I'll keep up with it. I have watched one of the All Accesses, but I don't know if there's an episode 2 and I haven't watched it. And I probably won't watch all the weigh-ins and that, but I am looking forward to the fight, and I'm not going to stay up for it, but I'm going to wake up for it. I'm going to set an alarm and wake up for the fight, so I am looking forward to it. I think Canelo's going to win. So, do you know, I still feel like, I know that the Golovkin second, that he went quite far with Ryder, like more than it should. Only went points with Ryder, didn't he? Did he go to points? Yeah, he went points with Ryder, but Ryder's a tough man, but he did go points with Ryder, yeah, and the Golovkin won points as well. Yeah, maybe I'm just being bit biased. I still think he's the best at 168. I still think he'd beat and dominate David Benavidez. I don't think that'd even be that close a fight. So I still think he's the best at that weight division. And I just think he went up and got beat by Bivol, but he has slowed down. And because I'm a massive Canelo fan, maybe I am. Now I'm thinking about his run of results. I think I forgot about the Ryder fight. I think he's slowing down, but you got to think, mate. What did he turn pro at 15? I seen this is 60th fight, isn't it? 60th fight. He's been 50. He's 35, Canelo, he is, isn't it? 20 years. Canelo's been a pro for 20 years. Canelo's been a professional boxer for 20 years, so eventually he's got to slow down. Maybe this will be the time he slows down. But I don't think so. I don't think Charlo's that good, but I think he's fighting the better Charlo, to be honest, of the two. I know the other one was undefeated, but even though this Charlo's smaller and has been beaten, I actually think this Charlo is better than the undefeated Charlo. Yeah, definitely, I think that is right, innit? I do think this Charlo's better than the other one. The other one's not that good and his head's not in it, innit? No, I do think this is the better Charlo, but I think the way this Charlo fights can be beat by Canelo. I do think that. No, maybe not. Which one of them's a boxer and which one's a puncher? I think because of the way one of them, I can't remember which ones. I can't remember which Charlo's which now. Which one? This one, I definitely think the 154, I don't even know which the names are. I definitely want to fights at 155. I definitely think the 154 Charlo's better, but I can't remember which one's Styles, the puncher, which one's the other. Oh, I can't even really do a review on Canelo Charlo because I can't. Let me have a look. Hang on. Which one's the one who fought Uzkatake? Which Charlo was that? Because that's the one that's the thingy in it. Does it really matter? I think. Do you know what? This video's 7 minutes long. How long was the last one? I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I think Canelo's going to win, but I think it'll be close. And I want him to win as well because I want him to fight. I do want him to fight Benavidez, and I want him to Crawford. I want the Canelo train to keep going. I don't want if Charlo wins, who's ass? Do you know what I mean? Who's Charlo going to fight that makes me ass? I want super fights with Canelo. I want big super Canelo fights. Told you, bins. I want big super Canelo fights. So I don't want Charlo to win. Canelo needs to win this, and I think he will win. But he is going to slow down eventually. 20 years a pro. 60 fights, been boxing since he's 15. Just by the law of just age, he has to start slowing down. And he has obviously slowed down. Look at like I said, Ryder, Golovkin, he lost to Bivol. So he has started slowing down, but it's how much is because he already had that much of a lead. How much will he have to slow down for it to actually matter? But it's now 10 o'clock because of the break and everything. So we need to just move this on. So let's go to the UFC. So I was going to talk about the main event, but not interested enough to talk about it now. The fight was probably going to be a good fight, and was it? Gamrot won because Fizzy did his knees in a bad look. Fizzy, and imagine it. Think if he'd have beat Gaethje, he'd have probably got a massive fight, and now he's lost to Gaethje on a really close decision, and now he's lost again because of an injury. And it was going to be just the Bryce Mitchell. Is it Bryce Mitchell? Yeah, Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell, mate. It is Bryce Mitchell. He did the. Does anybody listen to the Michael Bisping podcast? Wow. So I was just listening to that in work. Yeah, I just had my headphones in, thinking that Bryce, because it's one of them things that I won't just listen to. Oh, that's like the last resort. If I've got nothing to listen to and I need to just have something on so I can do some work and that, I listen to the Bisping podcast in work. And I just thought Bryce Mitchell was going to come on it, mate. He was on for almost an hour, talking straight just about Jesus, gravity's not real, the Earth is flat. But he was giving full-on real theories that he believes why the Earth is flat. He was saying that the you need to listen to this interview. He was saying that the polar ice caps or whatever. What's the edge? What's the Antarctica or whatever? What's the edge of the world where there's a big ice thing? He reckons there's people behind that ice wall controlling the world, not letting you go past it. If you go past it, you get shot. And on the other, he reckons just on the other side, is it the polar ice caps or whatever the Antarctica is, whatever that is, North Pole, whatever. He thinks whatever that big glass wall is behind that is green. He said it on the podcast. He thinks it's a green meadows and everything behind that, another world behind that would be kept from. He thinks gravity is not real. Oh, he was just nuts. He says. In the video, he was talking about how he used to train for his fights, and he says that he used to go running in boots, thick boots, because he thought if he can run in boots, then he'll be slick off boots. That's what his thought process was. If I can run in boots, then I'll be even better off. This is not even doing a bit, by the way. Do you know, how Colby Covington's a character? Bryce Mitchell is genuinely like a hillbilly. It's like a proper hillbilly. That was a text saying this cheesecake is literally unreal. It is the cheesecake. Them Biscoff cheesecakes from Tesco are fucking unreal. But yeah, Bryce Mitchell is a proper hillbilly farmer. He is mad. And he running in boots, went to the doctors. He said, mate, you're fucking your knees up, mate. Stop running in big work boots, mate. What are you doing? So he said he had to stop that. And he goes on the podcast, and I used to think that yoga was gay. Bisping and Andy Smith, you could just see them both go oh. I can say it because I'm not getting money on my YouTube videos. Them two are probably just thinking both of us we're not getting no ad revenue for this video. for this video. That's all. Oh God, this is a free video out there. I bet you. Do you know what? I've not even checked, but I bet you. Do you know if someone's been demonetized? If you click on the videos and no advert plays, they're not getting paid. I only just realised that. So I reckon if you click on if that video, I'm going to watch it later, and I bet there's no advert on it. He was just saying the baddest shit ever. But yeah, he would. I think Bryce Mitchell, I know he lost to Tabori and he says he was ill, but I think because he's just mad and he does his own camps and that, I think he'll always have good top control on that. But I think he'll get beat by good people. He'll just be a fun fighter. But yeah, he's just mad. Did anyone see it? Right, so we talked about that. And then the last thing, because I need to end this video. If it didn't need to be out today, I would have just, when the door went, I'd have fucked it off, but I need to just finish it. Fight announcements. So these are the only things I got noticed. So we're going to start with the newest one. So UFC 295, Europaska versus Alex Pereira. How sick a fight is that? I've seen people saying they're more interested in this fight as an actual fight, like how good is Pereira versus Yarde going to be versus how good is John Jones versus Stipe going to be. But you're trying too hard if you say you're more intrigued in this fight than Jones versus Stipe. Who doesn't want to see Jones versus Stipe? Who's asked if the ball fooled? Who's asked if what? It's Jones versus Stipe is going to be sick. And you're one of these little try-hard, pretend I like MMA more than anyone else. If you genuinely are pretending that you are more interested in Alex Pereira versus Eubank over fucking John Jones versus Stipe Miocic, but it's a sick addition to the card. You know why they've done it, don't you? Because obviously John Jones doesn't share pay-per-view points. So that's why he won't have a champion on his card. I know he has done before, but no, John Jones would not have a champion under him because he doesn't want to give the money. He'd rather have the money than give it to someone else. So these two are both. It's for a vacant belt, so none of them will get pay-per-view points. But what a sick fight! Who do we think? Do I need to choose a winner? But I'll choose a winner at the time. But just first off, I think probably Alex Pereira will win that because I just think who knows about what year he's going to be after that injury, and I think he takes a lot of shots that year of Haskell, and Pereira's powerful. Then that's just that card. There's been other fights out, but I'm just going to do the fights that have been announced for the numbered card because I'm mad this week. I swear every like Dana White's done a fucking release video from all just different locations saying like this fight. The UFC's on fire. UFC 296 in Vegas, mate. Colby, so you think Colby versus Leon versus Colby because he's a champion. Edwards versus Colby, you think is a great fight, like good, but you don't think headline main event in for the end of year. I know the end of year card last year was Ankalaev versus Blachowicz. So it's not like one of the stapled cards that they always put a big fight card on, is it? Like last year the card was shit. Paddy was the fucking chief support for last year's card in Vegas. Remember, that's how bad that card was. He was a chief support against fucking Jared Gordon. So it's not like they hold this December card up to a high esteem. But you'd think Colby versus Leon, even that's a bit weak. But then under it they've got Pantoja versus Royval, which I'm quite glad about. I'm happy that fight's happening, even though Brandon Moreno is my favourite UFC fighter of all weight classes. He's my favourite, but I'm glad he's taking a break. He doesn't need to go. He is surely the UFC have told him, listen, take some time off. That fight was close. You've been a good champion. He's the best marketable flyweight champion by a mile. Take some time off, and when you want to come back and have a fight, that fight's there for you. Do you know what I mean? Chill. Go and chill out for a bit, recover, because he's been in some wars and he's had a big schedule. He fought for the interim title, didn't he, as well, against Kai Kara France, in between fighting all them fights with Figueiredo and stuff. So go away, chill out, let these fights a rematch, and then come back and fight for the title. It's nice to keep the division going, get some new contenders in there. Inverse Pantoja's a massive fight again if he wins. Inverse Royval's a good fight if he wins. Like, that's the perfect fight. I'm looking forward to it. It's another title fight, isn't it? It'll be a good fight. And then under that you've got Paddy versus Ferguson. So I feel like this is a bit split. A lot of people are like they're like aggrieved by it, like saying, "Oh, this shouldn't be happening." But I don't think it's that bad. Like, listen, I want Paddy to do well. I think he's all right in that, but I don't think he's like that good, and he's not like lights out dangerous, is he? Where like he's never really has he really ever put like a really bad beating on anyone? Like, I'd rather Tony fight older people. Like, I'd rather Tony fight, I don't know, like, not Matt Farrington, obviously different weight classes, but I'd rather Tony fight people like, even like Bobby Green, more people like Bobby Green. I'd rather him fight older people and just have old fight. If he's going to have to keep, I'd rather him not fight at all. But if he's got to fight older people like fucking Bobby Green, or who else is older in that? I don't know. I can't even think off the top of my head who else is old in that division, but older fighters, fight them and go out with them or don't fight. But if he's going to fight someone young, then why not? He wants to fight. Paddy's not like killer lights out dangerous in terms of like he'll probably beat him. I think Paddy will win. But he's not like he'll probably sub him or like, do you know what I mean? It might even go the distance. Who knows? It's like I don't think it's that bad of a fight. And if imagine Tony beats Paddy, that's a massive fight. Then he can get other big fights. And if Paddy beats Tony, it's still a little bit of a name. And like, I know he'll have lost 7 in a row then, but you're still beating Tony Ferguson, and it's not the worst fight. If he was going to keep fighting Tony when you were, he wouldn't. I'm not sad that he's fighting Paddy. Shavkat Ramanov versus Wonderboy, sick fight. I was listening to it. I did think all this week that they sort of give this fight to Wonderboy because he didn't take the Pereira fight when he missed weight, like a sort of a punishment, like fight Shavkat, who's fucking unbelievable. Was it 17 finishes or 18? I can't remember one of them. But Wonderboy was on Ariel's show. He said, "Nah," I said, "I'll fight anyone ranked above him." I can't believe Shavkat's ranked above Wonderboy, if I'm honest, I didn't ever think that'd be the case. Why is that? There's my bins alarm again, but I need to keep snoozing the bins alarm because otherwise I won't put the bins out and they're full. Because this is the first Friday since of that cycle for the bins since JJ's party, so it's full from JJ's party right to the top. It has to be emptied. I've not emptied the kitchen bin because there's no room for the bin bag in the kitchen to go in that bin until it's emptied, so it has to be emptied. So that alarm just keeps snoozing. This weren't supposed to be 17 minutes. This is going to be the longest combat thing ever. I'll never get stoned into a video again. Right, we've got 2 more fights and then I can end this. Right, so yeah, I thought he was being punished, but he said, nah, I want to fight him, he's a better rank. And to be fair, Wonderboy, he's probably going to get run over, like slyly, innit, because he's dead old and that. But if he wins, he can get a massive fight and he's beat a hype job. And Luke A. Gary. So, are these two not teammates? That's what I was thinking. Are these two not teammates? Because they're both at Killcliff, aren't they? That's what I was thinking when this fight got made. First thing I was thinking is, these two are teammates. Fair enough if they're going to fight and they'll be teammates. Like, who's like, fair enough, innit? But I thought they were teammates. But I did see, and I seen Luke Thomas also said this, I did see, because when they're seen about these teammates, someone said, I seen an MMA post where it said something like, about what's it called, Sterling and, what's Sterling's mate called now? Oh my God, I know his name as well. The one who jumped into the ice, literally know his name. Oh my God. What's his name now? This is like a stupid Algeman. This is like a really stupid thing where I just can't remember it. Merab! Oh my God, Merab! How could I not remember Merab's name then? So Merab, someone said Merab and Sterling should, like, they were saying, look, these two are fighting the teammates. Merab and Sterling are like best mates. Luke and fucking Gary have probably been in the gym a couple of times. They're saying that Killcliff's massive. Have you seen the size of that? I watched a YouTube video on Killcliff's gym, like it was like a walk around my gym sort of thing, and it's massive. They probably don't even know each other. But yeah, they are teammates and they're fighting, so I suppose it's interesting. And it's a good fight as well. I'm looking forward to that. The last thing I've got, but I think this was supposed to be looked to with the boxing, it just says Frank Smith /builders. But I've been on this for well too long, so I'll just end it with Frank Smith's a fucking idiot, mate. He needs to stop winning. I suppose I need to stop winning in front of a camera, but I don't know what I can't remember what maybe I need to do proper notes and not just do bullet points, or maybe I need to not be so stoned. And it's just been a long time. The door went and then I didn't come straight back because I had to deal with the door going, so I'm going to end this video now. I have to do the combat one because I want to keep doing these, but this is sort of been derailed and train wrecked, but listen, it's going out anyway. I need to learn how to edit these 2 videos together. The Craig David video was good. Really enjoyed doing the Craig David video. I'm going to do another sort of one of them videos, like I'm going to start doing one-off videos and then do this one every week, and then there'll be football one coming out in a couple of weeks where it's 4 of us, and then every so often do the random one-off. So the next random one-off one's going to be, I've got one about my new love for the NFL that I need to record that I'm thinking of, the Hazard debate, and I did think of a 3rd video but I forgot, and then one about Harry Potter I think I'm going to do. But I'm not sure, but I'm going to keep doing random videos about topics that I like. But yeah, this has been the worst ever Combat Weekly. Canelo's going to win this weekend. Goodbye.